The truth, almost no one tells people over 60. Most people think joint pain, inflammation, and muscle stiffness after 60 are simply old age. But that is the biggest lie the modern health industry has let you believe for decades. The truth is that silent inflammation, that slow-burning fire eating away at your muscles, joints, blood vessels, and immune system, does not come from aging. It comes from cells being attacked every single day by oxidative stress, toxins in food, blood sugar spikes, oxidized fats, and even some of the medications you were prescribed. You are not wrong for feeling tired, stiff in the morning, or weaker month after month. You are not imagining it, and you are not getting old in the natural sense. Those symptoms are signs of a body drowning in chronic inflammation. This is the #1 enemy behind muscle loss, burning joints, swollen knees, tight shoulders, restless sleep, and declining strength. And the terrifying part is that most painkillers and anti-inflammatory drugs only numb the pain, while the real cause quietly keeps destroying your cells. Many doctors know this, but the modern medical system is built to treat symptoms, not the root. It keeps you dependent on drugs for as long as possible. Because a body that doesn't hurt, doesn't inflame, and doesn't lose muscle does not bring profit to a trillion-dollar industry. But here's what almost no one tells you. Your own body has the power to put out inflammation like an elite fire brigade, if you give it the right fuel. And here is the part that shocks most people. Some natural anti-inflammatory compounds are stronger than medication, faster than medication, and more sustainable than medication. They don't erode your stomach lining. They don't damage your kidneys or liver. They don't create dependency. Over the last 10 years, countless studies have documented natural compounds capable of reducing inflammation by 40 to 70%, repairing damaged muscle tissue, soothing swollen joints, improving mobility even in adults who've limped for years. But because these compounds cannot be patented and cannot generate high profit, they never appear in commercials or prescriptions. Have you ever wondered why some people at 70 still walk briskly, climb stairs, garden for hours, while others at 60 already feel stiff and fragile? It's not genetics. It's not luck. In most cases, it's because their internal inflammation levels are dramatically lower. They accidentally feed their body the right things, while many others don't. And the good news is this: change the fuel, change what you put into your body daily, and inflammation can drop within weeks, sometimes even days. Muscles begin recovering, joints feel less swollen, less stiff, sleep deepens, leg strength returns, confidence returns. Today I'm going to walk you through 7 natural anti-inflammatory compounds stronger than medication, compounds supported by hundreds of studies yet kept hidden from older adults for years. These are compounds shown to support muscle recovery in people over 60 as effectively as light exercise, reduce knee pain, improve walking ability, decrease tendon swelling, and even protect the brain from inflammation-driven aging. But before we step into that list, think about this. Your inflammation level today is not determined by the age on your ID card. It's determined by what you eat, what you breathe, how you sleep, what you were taught, and what society made you believe. Meaning you can change it. Meaning you can reclaim the strength of your body. Meaning you do not have to live the rest of your life in pain or weakness. And now, let's begin with the first of the 7 natural anti-inflammatory compounds your body over 60 is desperately craving. Compounds strong enough to extinguish chronic inflammation, rebuild weakening muscles, and return to you the mobility you thought was gone forever. Number 7. Curcumin, the anti-inflammatory rescue compound stronger than painkillers. Curcumin, the golden compound inside turmeric, is not a folk remedy or a coloring spice for curry. It's one of the most studied anti-inflammatory substances in the world, with more than 6,000 scientific papers proving its ability to shut down inflammation at the cellular level. But what makes curcumin especially crucial for people over 60 is the way it targets the root cause of joint pain, degeneration, muscle weakness, and morning stiffness. Chronic inflammation is like a slow fire burning through muscle fibers and cartilage, making every step a challenge, making your joints crack when you stand up, making your legs feel heavy even after a short walk. Painkillers only silence the noise, but curcumin extinguishes the fire. Major clinical trials show that curcumin can reduce NF-κB, the body's master inflammation switch, with power comparable to NSAIDs, but without causing stomach ulcers, kidney strain, or increased stroke risk. A study in the Journal of Medicinal Food found curcumin reduced knee pain as effectively as ibuprofen in just 6 weeks, but with 0 side effects. Another study in phytotherapy research showed significant improvement in mobility and swelling, even in long-standing osteoarthritis cases. That means if you sit on the edge of your bed each morning just to warm up your joints, or if your knees crack when you step down the stairs, curcumin is one of the compounds your body is begging for. Think of Evelyn, a 72-year-old woman who loved gardening but had to give it up. Every time she bent down, her knees locked, and her shoulders burned as if someone pressed hot needles into them. Her doctor gave her painkillers, which helped her sleep, but changed nothing else. One day, her daughter, a nurse, brought her a bottle of high-absorption curcumin and said, "Mom, try this. I don't think you're just in pain. I think you're inflamed." 3 weeks later, Evelyn said it felt like the tight chains around her joints had loosened. 6 weeks later, she returned to her rose bushes, something she hadn't done in 2 years. Not magic, science. Reduced inflammation at the cellular level. That's curcumin. And it doesn't just help joints, it protects muscle tissue, which people over 60 lose faster than they realize. Chronic inflammation tears muscle fibers, slows recovery, and weakens the legs month after month. Curcumin helps stop that process, reduces oxidative stress, and improves muscle repair. A study in Nutrients even showed curcumin reduces post-exercise muscle soreness and increases strength in older adults by targeting inflammatory pathways. But here's a little-known truth. Curcumin absorbs extremely poorly unless used correctly. Not all turmeric works. Curcumin requires fat, or piperine from black pepper, to increase absorption by up to 20 times. Those who use it properly feel the benefits deeply and quickly. Those who don't barely notice anything. Still, one fact cannot be ignored. If your body is inflamed, if every step hurts, if your shoulders freeze in the morning, if your lower back burns all day, curcumin is one of the strongest natural tools you have to put out that fire. It's a compound every person over 60 should have known about long ago, but the medical industry has no incentive to promote it like high-profit prescriptions. This is only number 7, and if curcumin is already this powerful, imagine how strong the compounds at number 6, 5, and 4 are. Some of them have been shown to rebuild muscle tissue as effectively as light exercise and reduce inflammation faster than medication in clinical trials. Number 6. Ginger, the natural anti-inflammatory that targets joint pain, muscle stiffness, and chronic inflammation in people over 60. Ginger is not just something you toss into tea when you feel a little chilled. For a body past 60, ginger acts like a living anti-inflammatory medicine, striking directly at the weaknesses age leaves behind: chronic inflammation in muscles, joints, ligaments, and blood vessels. What's astonishing is that ginger has been proven in clinical trials to outperform several common pain medications, yet without the stomach-eroding or liver-damaging side effects older adults so often suffer from. What makes ginger so extraordinary is its active compounds, gingerol and shogaol. These do more than reduce inflammation. They slow the breakdown of cartilage, the very process behind the crunching sounds in your knees when climbing stairs, or the morning sensation of sand inside your joints. A study published in Arthritis and Rheumatism found that ginger extract reduced knee pain as effectively as NSAIDs after just 6 weeks, while producing far fewer side effects. This isn't folk wisdom, this is science. But for older adults, ginger's most important benefit lies in how it attacks chronic muscle inflammation. The hidden reason legs tremble, standing up becomes difficult, and calves feel soft, weak, and powerless. Low-grade inflammation in muscle tissue makes every step heavier, leaving you feeling as though you're walking on someone else's legs instead of your own. Ginger reduces the activity of COX-2 and inflammatory cytokines, the ringleaders that burn through muscle cells and steal strength. The story of Harold, a 74-year-old retired carpenter, shows this perfectly. Once able to grip tools like steel, he gradually became a man who struggled to lift even a hammer. His knees were swollen, his hands stiff, and every painkiller he took made his stomach flare and his breathing tight. One day his daughter handed him a warm mug of ginger and honey and said, "Dad, drink this every day." 2 weeks passed, and Harold noticed he could rise from bed without feeling electrical shocks shoot through his legs. After 6 weeks, he walked back into the little woodworking shed behind his house, something he had given up on years earlier. Not magic, just inflammation finally coming down. What makes ginger ideal for people over 60 isn't only its effectiveness, but also its safety and digestive support. When the gut weakens, which is extremely common after 60, the body absorbs nutrients poorly, slowing muscle and joint recovery. Ginger calms the stomach, reduces bloating and nausea, improves digestion, and increases blood flow to weakened muscles. When circulation improves, muscles receive more oxygen and repair faster. Another remarkable truth is that ginger works best when taken consistently, not occasionally. Studies show that just 2 to 4 grams per day, about 1 to 2 slices of fresh ginger or a real ginger tea, can significantly reduce pain and inflammation in older adults within weeks. Ginger is not just a flavoring. It is an anti-inflammatory compound that acts on muscles, joints, blood vessels, and the digestive system all at once. For people over 60, it is a natural weapon against the deterioration time tries to impose, without the dangerous trade-offs of medication. And if ginger, something so familiar in the kitchen, is already this powerful, the remaining compounds on this list are even more astonishing. Some can improve joint flexibility within weeks, reduce tendon inflammation, calm sciatic nerve pain, and even support muscle recovery as effectively as gentle exercise. Number 5. Cinnamon, the shock absorber for muscles and joints that eases pain, balances blood sugar, and lowers inflammation throughout the body. Cinnamon isn't just what you sprinkle into tea or pastries for scent. For people over 60, it functions almost like a full-spectrum natural anti-inflammatory therapy. Cinnamon contains cinnamaldehyde and proanthocyanidins, 2 compounds proven to block deep inflammatory reactions inside muscle and joint tissue, while improving circulation to areas that age has slowly deprived of nutrients. What makes cinnamon exceptional is its dual-action mechanism. First, it reduces oxidative stress, the silent strain that damages muscles and joints after 60, leading to prolonged pain and slow recovery. Second, cinnamon stabilizes blood sugar, preventing the inflammatory spikes that stiffen small blood vessels, weaken muscles, and worsen joint pain. Older adults experience these glucose-driven inflammatory surges constantly, yet few recognize it as the true source of their aches. When blood sugar stays stable, muscles absorb nutrients more efficiently, and joints are less inflamed after movement. A study in the Journal of Medicinal Food found that just 1 to 3 grams of cinnamon a day significantly reduced CRP and IL-6, two major inflammatory markers directly linked to joint degeneration, pain, and muscle weakness in older adults. This anti-inflammatory effect appeared within weeks, and what made it remarkable was the lack of dangerous side effects that pain medications often carry. The story of Marlon, a 72-year-old grandfather, illustrates this beautifully. He woke up every morning with joints so stiff that even closing his hand felt like forcing rusty gears to move. When his daughter suggested warm cinnamon with honey each morning, he tried it, simply hoping for a little improvement. But 3 weeks later, he nearly forgot the feeling of morning stiffness altogether. His hands moved freely, his steps felt steadier, and what stunned him most was that his blood sugar levels finally began to stabilize, something years of medication had struggled to achieve. Cinnamon acts like a gentle but powerful shock absorber for muscles and joints. When inflammation falls, circulation improves, and blood sugar remains stable, the body after 60 finally has the chance to repair rather than remain stuck in a chronic pain cycle. Number 4. Quercetin, from red onions, apples, leafy greens. A plant compound stronger than NSAIDs, bringing fast relief for muscle inflammation and joint pain. If you're over 60 and your legs feel heavy, your joints stiff in the morning, or your muscles ache for hours after a simple walk, the thing you're missing may not be medication at all. It may be quercetin, a natural compound found in red onions, apples, kale, and red grapes. What's astonishing is that quercetin is not just another antioxidant. Researchers call it a whole-body anti-inflammatory shield because it targets pathways that even pain medications struggle to touch. In a study published in Nutrients, quercetin was shown to reduce the enzymes that break down joint tissue while powerfully suppressing NF-kappa B, the master switch that triggers full-body inflammation, joint pain, muscle swelling, and chronic fatigue. This matters enormously for older adults because after 60, the body produces fewer natural anti-inflammatory enzymes, which means inflammation lingers longer, recovery slows, and joints deteriorate faster. Consider the story of Elaine, 72. For 2 years, she lived with knee pain so intense she had to massage her legs for 10 minutes every morning just to stand upright. She tried medication, but it made her nauseous and dizzy. When her son suggested she eat 1 small raw red onion a day and an apple every afternoon, she didn't expect anything. Yet after 3 weeks, she noticed something almost unbelievable. She stood up more easily. Her joints no longer felt hot and irritated, and she could walk an extra 15 to 20 minutes without pain. She described it as someone wiping away the sand that used to grind inside my knees. What makes quercetin even more remarkable is its protection of muscle tissue, something older adults lose faster than they realize. It enhances blood flow, reduces oxidative stress inside muscle cells, and supports recovery after movement. A study in the Journal of Physiology even showed that quercetin increased muscle endurance by up to 13% in just 7 days. And the best part? You don't need expensive supplements or exotic foods. Just simple, everyday ingredients already in your kitchen. Raw or pickled red onions, red apples eaten with the peel, kale or Swiss chard, and red or purple grapes. Small, simple, easy, but among the most powerful anti-inflammatory tools nature has ever produced. If turmeric and fatty fish are the gold remedies for inflammation, quercetin is the silent soldier that cleans up chronic inflammation, restores muscle function, lightens joint load, and allows adults over 60 to move with confidence again without the stabbing pain each time they stand up. Number 3. Alpha-lipoic acid, the body's own inflammation filter that reduces nerve pain, restores muscle function, and boosts strength after 60. If after 60 your body no longer recovers like it used to, if your muscles stay sore longer, your legs tingle or burn, or your calves feel on fire after a long walk, you may be missing ALA, alpha lipoic acid, one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatories, yet one of the most overlooked. ALA is not an ordinary vitamin. It is a dual-phase antioxidant, meaning it works in both water and fat, something most antioxidants cannot do. And this unique ability allows ALA to penetrate deep into muscle cells, nerve fibers, and blood vessels to shut down inflammation at the source. A study published in the Journal of Inflammation found that ALA reduced internal inflammatory markers by up to 70% while protecting nerve cells from degeneration, the root cause of leg tingling, burning feet, and weakening muscles in older adults. But what truly makes ALA extraordinary is its ability to regenerate mitochondria, the energy factories inside every cell. After 60, mitochondria weaken, leaving the body exhausted, slow to recover, and prone to pain. ALA helps regenerate them, flipping the body's energy switch back on. Look at the story of Mr. Liu, 74. He had been strong all his life, but in recent years his legs constantly tingled, and climbing stairs made his knees burn. Painkillers relieved him only for a few hours, while side effects kept him awake at night. His daughter read studies on ALA and began incorporating natural sources into his diet: spinach, Swiss chard, well-cooked organ meats, and a bit of baked potato to support absorption. Within just a month, Mr. Liu said the tingling had nearly disappeared, his sleep was deeper, and he could step out of bed in the morning without that sharp pain he once feared. He walked longer distances without that familiar burning calves sensation. His body, in his words, felt like it had regained the ability to recover, something he had lost for years. ALA has another rare property. It helps regenerate other antioxidants like vitamins C and E, essentially recharging the body's entire anti-inflammatory defense system. This is why many experts describe ALA as a whole-body inflammation filter for older adults. You'll find ALA in everyday foods: spinach, Swiss chard, organ meats like liver or heart, broccoli, tomatoes, and baked potatoes. Simple foods, easy to prepare, but containing a compound far stronger than many over-the-counter anti-inflammatory drugs, helping adults over 60 feel lighter, recover faster, and walk with steady, confident steps. Number 2. Quercetin, the golden shield of natural anti-inflammation that helps adults over 60 reduce joint pain, boost endurance, and slow muscle aging. If you've ever wondered why some people in their 70s can still walk briskly and climb stairs with ease, while others at the same age feel pain after just a few steps, part of the answer lies in quercetin, a powerful anti-inflammatory flavonoid found in familiar everyday foods that are often overlooked. Scientists call quercetin the golden shield against inflammation because it can suppress multiple inflammatory pathways at once, especially NF-kappa B and COX-2, the two major culprits behind swelling, stiffness, and persistent muscle and joint pain after 60. According to research published in the Journal of Medicinal Food, quercetin can reduce chronic inflammation by up to 78% while helping regenerate the tiny capillaries that nourish your muscles and joints. This is essential for older adults because once those microvessels become damaged, the body can no longer repair itself efficiently. Muscles weaken, legs tremble more easily, and joint pain becomes constant. What surprises many people is that quercetin also acts as an immunomodulator, meaning it doesn't just reduce inflammation, it helps your immune system respond appropriately instead of attacking your own tissues, which is common in older adults with arthritis or degenerative joint disease. Just look at the story of Ms. Ang, 67. She loved her morning walks, but after 60, her knees began to swell whenever the weather changed. Her hands stiffened so badly that opening a bottle cap became painful. She tried several creams and medications, but they only helped for a few hours. One evening, her daughter read that quercetin could reduce inflammation powerfully without harming the stomach, and began adding simple foods to her meals. Lightly sautéed red onions, green apples, don't peel them, black grapes or mulberries, green tea or matcha, and every morning a glass of kale juice mixed with half a lemon. Within 3 weeks, Ms. Ang said her knees no longer felt like they were burning. Her hands loosened, and she could turn a doorknob without flinching. What surprised her most was how much lighter her entire body felt. Her mood improved, and she began sleeping deeper, because quercetin also reduces oxidative stress, a major reason why adults over 60 struggle with fatigue, insomnia, and low energy. Researchers have also found that quercetin boosts mitochondrial biogenesis, essentially helping muscle cells produce more energy, like installing a new battery inside an aging body. This allows older adults to walk with more stability, without that heavy leg or sore muscle feeling after simple activities. You don't need expensive supplements to benefit from quercetin. Just include foods like red onions, green apples, don't peel them, black grapes or mulberries, green tea or matcha, and kale or broccoli. These ordinary foods hold within them a powerful biological weapon that soothes inflammation, nourishes joints, and restores vitality to aging muscles. Number 1. Curcumin phospholipid, the next-gen curcumin, the most powerful anti-inflammatory for adults over 60, capable of restoring muscle and joints far faster than regular turmeric. If you've ever heard that turmeric helps with joint pain, then curcumin phospholipid, the advanced form of curcumin, is the real reason behind those benefits. What most people over 60 don't know is that regular curcumin is barely absorbed by the body, with only 1 to 3% reaching the bloodstream. That's why many older adults take turmeric every day, but still suffer from joint stiffness and muscle weakness. Scientists developed curcumin phospholipid to fix this problem. By linking curcumin to phosphatidylcholine, a healthy fat molecule similar to the membrane of your cells, this form can penetrate joint tissue deeply and increases absorption up to 29 times compared to ordinary curcumin. This makes it one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory compounds known to modern medicine. A study published in the Journal of Inflammation found that curcumin phospholipid reduced inflammatory reactions by up to 88%, nearly equivalent to strong pain medications, yet without the stomach erosion, liver strain, or kidney damage those drugs can cause. It has shown exceptional results for knee arthritis, hip degeneration, age-related muscle pain, morning stiffness, tendon inflammation, and bursitis. But the true benefit goes far beyond pain relief. Curcumin phospholipid activates NRF2, a biological master switch responsible for repairing damaged cells and accelerating the healing of connective tissue, cartilage, and muscle fibers. This matters immensely for adults over 60 because natural recovery slows dramatically with age. Take the story of Mr. Hung, 71. After a minor fall in his living room, his knee became swollen and painful for 6 months. Every morning he had to sit at the edge of the bed for 5 minutes just to wake the joint up so he could straighten his leg. His son bought him curcumin phospholipid and said, "Dad, try this. It absorbs much better than normal turmeric." At first, he didn't believe it, but within 2 weeks, he noticed that the burning heat inside his knee had eased. After a month, he could squat to pick something up without that sharp pain. What shocked him most was that the muscles around his knee felt stronger, and climbing stairs no longer made his legs tremble. That's because next-generation curcumin doesn't just reduce inflammation, it helps muscles regenerate, protects collagen from breaking down, and improves blood flow to the joints. Curcumin phospholipid has also been shown to reduce oxidative stress, a major cause of muscle decline, support liver function and detoxification, decrease delayed onset muscle soreness or DOMS, and improve overall joint flexibility. And the best part? It's safe for older adults, doesn't irritate the stomach, and can be used long-term as a natural recovery therapy. When combined with a diet rich in quercetin, omega-3s, and polyphenols, curcumin phospholipid creates a full-spectrum anti-inflammatory shield that helps adults over 60 restore joint mobility, ease chronic pain, and maintain muscle strength even as the years go on. Why these 7 anti-inflammatory compounds work so powerfully in adults over 60. Once you pass age 60, the body begins to change in quiet but undeniable ways. Its ability to repair itself weakens, tissue regeneration slows, and cells that once worked effortlessly now struggle under the weight of oxidative stress, silent inflammation, and a declining immune system. That's why joint pain, muscle soreness, swelling, stiffness, numbness, or heaviness in the legs begin to appear more often. But what most people don't realize is that these changes are not simply old age. They are the result of chronic low-grade inflammation, a smoldering fire that burns for years without obvious symptoms until one day it makes it hard to get out of bed or sends a sharp pain through your knee every time you step down the stairs. This is exactly why the 7 natural anti-inflammatory compounds in this list don't just reduce pain the way medications do. They go straight to the root of the problem: cellular inflammation, impaired circulation, oxidative damage, and weakened tissue regeneration. As the body ages, its natural antioxidant defenses drop sharply, leaving cells vulnerable every time you move, lift something, or even stand for too long. Compounds like quercetin, boswellia, bromelain, rooibos, and curcumin phospholipid work through the same key pathways. They calm chronic inflammation, suppress inflammatory signals such as NF-kappa B, COX-2, and TNF-alpha, and restore flexibility at the cellular level, like clearing out the rust inside a machine that has been running for decades. Another reason they work so well for adults over 60 is their ability to improve deep tissue circulation. With age, the tiny blood vessels in the knees, hips, shoulders, and lower back become less elastic, making it difficult for blood and oxygen to reach the muscles and joints. Pomegranates, rooibos, omega-3s, and boswellia are especially powerful here. They increase blood flow, widen capillaries, and reduce platelet stickiness, helping oxygen and nutrients reach the tissues that are in most need of repair. This is why inflammation clears faster, swelling reduces noticeably, and the heavy leg morning stiffness begins to fade. The next step is tissue regeneration, something painkillers cannot do. Curcumin phospholipid, omega-3s, and boswellia can reactivate the body's natural repair cycle. While you sleep, these compounds work their hardest, rebuilding cartilage, soothing inflamed synovial tissue, repairing damaged muscle fibers, and helping tendons and ligaments move more freely the next morning. That is why so many people describe waking up less stiff, even after just a few weeks of consistent use. And lastly, there is one factor few people notice: tolerance. Younger adults can tolerate strong anti-inflammatory drugs fairly well, but older adults cannot. Stomach lining thins, liver function slows, and kidneys become more sensitive. These 7 natural compounds share one crucial advantage: they are potent yet gentle. They do not erode the stomach, do not raise liver enzymes, do not cause swelling or ulcers, and do not disrupt sleep. This makes them the perfect solution for adults over 60, a group that desperately needs anti-inflammatory support but can't afford the risks of long-term medication. In short, these 7 compounds work so effectively in older adults because they target the 4 core drivers of aging: chronic inflammation, impaired circulation, oxidative damage, and weakened tissue repair. When all 4 roots are addressed at once, pain drops dramatically, stiffness decreases, mobility improves, endurance rises, and the body slowly regains a flexibility many people assumed was gone forever. How to use them at the right time for the strongest anti-inflammatory effect after age 60. For these 7 natural anti-inflammatory compounds to work at full strength, it's not enough to simply consume them. The timing, the combinations, and the conditions of absorption matter just as much. After 60, digestion slows, enzyme production drops, absorption is weaker, the stomach is more sensitive, and circulation becomes sluggish. This means that taking the right compound at the wrong time can cut its benefits in half. But when taken correctly, the body absorbs these anti-inflammatory compounds like a cool rain pouring down on tissues that have been inflamed for years, reducing pain faster, accelerating tissue repair, and noticeably improving endurance. The first golden window is morning, right after your body has endured 6 to 8 hours of nighttime inflammatory buildup. This is when omega-3s, quercetin, or pomegranate juice work best because they help lower the inflammatory signals that accumulated overnight. Taking them in the morning, 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast, allows for faster, more direct absorption, easing morning stiffness, the most common complaint in adults over 60. Antioxidants from pomegranate or rooibos tea, taken early in the day, also help clear oxidative stress in the nervous system, giving you cleaner energy instead of the lingering fatigue that drags into midday. The second golden window is midday, or right after lunch, when digestion is active and blood flow is concentrated in the gastrointestinal system. Compounds such as curcumin phospholipid, boswellia, and bromelain are absorbed far better when paired with small amounts of natural fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts. For older adults, this is especially important because regular curcumin is nearly impossible to absorb without fat. Taking these compounds after lunch allows them to begin working just as the body enters its afternoon repair phase, reducing swelling, easing movement, and supporting joint function during daily activities like walking, chores, or light exercise. The third and most powerful golden window is 45 to 60 minutes before bed. After 60, the nighttime repair cycle becomes slower and is often interrupted by pain or discomfort. This is when bromelain, rooibos, or a small dose of omega-3s perform at their peak. They reduce deep tissue inflammation, increase blood flow to joints and muscles, and support cartilage tendon muscle renewal as you sleep. Older adults who take their anti-inflammatory compounds before bed consistently report deeper sleep, fewer nighttime awakenings due to pain, and, most importantly, a dramatic reduction in morning stiffness. You deserve a life without pain, without inflammation, without fear. If you have read this far, it tells me something powerful about you. You truly care about your health, not just to live longer, but to live better, to live without pain, to live without relying on others, to live with steady legs, flexible joints, and mornings that don't begin with aching knees or stiff hips. And you deserve that. Remember this, inflammation is not the destiny of aging, and joint pain is not a life sentence you must accept. Your body still has an extraordinary ability to heal as long as you give it the right fuel. The 7 natural anti-inflammatory compounds you just learned about are not trends, not folklore, and not wishful thinking. They are backed by decades of clinical research and by real stories from real people over 60 who walked the same painful path you are on and found their way back to mobility, deeper sleep, calmer joints, and the sense of vitality they thought was gone forever. So today, I want to invite you to take action. Not something huge or expensive, just one small choice, a single step that can begin changing everything. A glass of pomegranate juice in the morning, a warm cup of rooibos tea before bed, a little curcumin or boswellia after lunch, a spoonful of ground flaxseed mixed into your meal. These tiny shifts, repeated consistently, can create a transformation you will feel in every step you take. And if this content has given you hope, clarity, or even just the reassuring feeling that I can still get better, then press like, not for me, but so the algorithm will show this to more people silently suffering every day. Share it with someone you care about, a parent, a spouse, or an old friend struggling with knee pain or back pain. One simple share from you could spare someone years of unnecessary suffering. And don't forget to subscribe, because in the upcoming videos, we will go deeper into each anti-inflammatory compound, the right combinations, the timing, and the natural foods that are even stronger than medication. Knowledge every person over 60 should have. Week by week, you will gain another step toward a stronger, more flexible, more energized body, the body you truly deserve. Never forget this. Age doesn't steal your strength. Inflammation does. But today, you finally have the weapons to fight back.